Welcome to Kidmissing TV. This is our other transgender case for this month, once again dedicated to Paulina and Nicholas. I love you both. This young lady is missing from Kennedy, Texas, with one N. Kennedy. His birth name was James Mayberry Jr. He went by Jamie as a she. His family recognizes that Jamie was transgender. He was reported missing on April 2nd, 1999. Her brother, Terry, said that on that night, their niece, who was then 12, reported two white men came to the door of the family's home on North 5th Street in Kennedy after midnight. The men told Jamie that they had cocaine, and Jamie, dressed in a nightgown, told his niece he would be right back before leaving in a truck with the men. He never returned. Her brother said, quote, he was responsible when it came to kids. He wouldn't have left his niece home alone and never came back. He disputes that Jamie had talked about leaving town. I'm going to say she wouldn't have just left to leave, said Kennedy City Administrator Barbara Shaw, who knew Jamie and his family since the early 1980s. She wouldn't have hurt her family like that. She was too sensitive. Jamie is one of 8 children born to the late Lois and James Mayberry. Terry said the Mayberrys were well known in Kennedy and they got along with everyone. Quote, everybody knew that when it came to the Mayberrys, you mess with one of us, you're messed with all of us. End quote. Jamie and Terry both graduated from Kennedy High School in 1983. While Jamie was a year older, the brothers were in the same class because health issues caused Jamie to repeat 2nd grade. Jamie, who was transgender, dressed in women's clothing, had long hair, wore makeup, carried a purse. She was a fixture at a local bar called the Playmore, which now operates under the name Hanky Panky. Terry said that on the night of her disappearance, she was told that Jamie had gone to the bar and 2 men, a local drug kingpin and his cousin visiting from Chicago, also were there. Jamie started flirting with the cousin. He didn't know that Jamie was a man. People warned him that the guy was dangerous, but he laughed and said, quote, that's an expletive dude. The guy pulled a knife and Jamie ran home. The guy chased him out of the bar saying, I'm going to kill you. Kennedy Police Department files related to Jamie's case mention nothing of the altercation. Terry said the man from Chicago returned there the next day, and the police had held him for questioning related to Jamie's disappearance before releasing him after police in Kennedy did not locate a body. They let him go, and about a week later, he was found dead, meaning the drug dealer. According to his case file, on August 23, 2003, police received a tip that he was killed and dismembered in an apartment that someone had just moved out of the unit. Police conducted a search and found a large stain on the living room carpet that had penetrated the material down to the concrete. Stain was not blood. and it was actually food. Everybody has a theory, Detective Shaw said. Everybody had a different thought about what happened to Jamie, end quote. On October 4th, 2009, the Karnes County Sheriff's Office received a teletype from the Fort Smith Police Department in Arkansas that the medical examiner in Little Rock was attempting to identify a body found in a tree after a large flood in 2004. The body had tattoos, unlike Jamie, which was why the family concluded the body was not his. In the days immediately following Jamie's disappearance, the San Antonio-based Heidi Search Center coordinated searches in multiple areas between Poth and Pettis. If the Heidi people hadn't come down, it wouldn't have gone this far, Terry said, quote unquote. There are two primary search areas, one west of Karnes City, a second was off Farm to Market Road, 2509 south of Kennedy. They thought they had found blood in one of the areas, but testing revealed once again it was not blood. His brother was surprised that one area was never searched. That was a field behind the family's former home near the corner of Main and North 5th Streets in Kennedy. She just wasn't the kind of person who deserved that. I don't think anybody does, said Jamie's childhood friend Cynthia Saenz. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. S-A-E-N-Z. She was just happy, probably more so when she was able to be herself. Saenz said that while they were in school, Jamie had not lived as transgender. But at one of their class reunions, he came dressed in women's clothing. That's who James was. Nobody cared. We loved her anyway, she said, end quote. She recollected Jamie's larger-than-life persona and a megawatt smile that could light the darkest of rooms. I'm so glad that everybody Mayberry is described as a trusting, friendly individual. She left without her medication, and she hasn't collected any of her disability payments, which were her only source of income. Since her disappearance, Mayberry's loved ones believe her disappearance may have been the result of a hate crime, because he was gay and cross-dressed in public. The man who threatened Mayberry with a knife was murdered himself before he could be interviewed. Mayberry is naturally male, although went by female, was black, is 35 years old, 5'5" to 5'7", 140 to 170 pounds. He was wearing a button-down collarless beige blouse